What's going on, everybody? Today we got another video. This time we're going over the 2022 early free agency winners. Stay tuned. First up, let's talk about Darnell Mooney, the wide receiver for the Chicago Bears. Last year in 2021, he had played 17 games, 81 receptions, 1,055 yards, and 4 touchdowns on 140 targets. I'm telling you, now that the Allen Robinson is completely gone out of there, he now turns into the #1 receiver, and he doesn't have anybody there to compete him for the targets. He is the guy. Starting in last year, you had Justin Fields that was kind of in and out of the lineup. He was starting to build some chemistry with Fields, and that's only going to bode well in the second season these two are together, and you should see some nice, solid fantasy production from the two. Look for him to be a solid wide receiver too in 2022. Next up, we're going to look at Darren Waller. A couple years ago for the Raiders, he was the stud. I mean, he was the go-to guy, first down, second down, third down, fourth down. It doesn't matter. When they needed to play, they gave it to Darren Waller. Last year, he had to battle some injuries. He only played 11 games, but now they've added Davante Adams, probably the #1 receiver in the NFL, to the offense, which is going to help out tremendously. Darren Waller now moves to the #2 target. The teams are no longer going to have as much safety help now because they're going to have to roll over that safety to Davante Adams' side. So it should be free open up Darren Waller all over the field. He's fast, he's speedy, he has good hands. He should still see a high volume of targets. Look for Darren Waller to still be a solid tight end 1 in 2022. My next winner has got to be Juju Smith-Schuster. This guy was phenomenal back in the day when he used to play with Antonio Brown. He was very good as that second fiddle. He ended up having to switch over to the #1 role, and it was kind of troublesome for him. Last year, only played 5 games due to injury. He only had 129 yards receiving. But now that he moves over to Kansas City, you've got Tyreek Hill. You've got Travis Kelce. He doesn't have to be that #1 target. He actually becomes the #3 target in that offense, and he was the most successful way back in the day when he had Antonio Brown. Now he has Tyreek Hill. So it's going to be the same story, and I think his play is going to be very, very good for you. A good, reliable week in and week out source. He can either play on the outside as a #2 receiver. He can play in the slot as a slot receiver. Look at Juju Smith-Schuster as being a solid flex play every single week. Now we're going to look at Michael Pittman Jr., the wide receiver for the Indianapolis Colts. Last season, he did play 17 games, 88 receptions, 1,082 yards, and 6 touchdowns. He's now going from Wentz to Matt Ryan, who they acquired in a trade from Atlanta. It looks like Matt Ryan still may have some juice left, and Michael Pittman is still the #1 target on the Colts. There is no other receiving options down there, and I believe Matt Ryan is an upgrade at quarterback, which means you should see even more production from Michael Pittman. He's been getting better as he goes through. This should be his 3rd year in the NFL, and I'm telling you, this is the time where he's going to start producing, and I believe he is a clear winner. And not only, it's not really free agency because they collected him in a trade, but he should easily be a wide receiver 1 for 2022. Now, the next early winner in the 2022 free agency, we have to talk about Joe Mixon, the running back for the Cincinnati Bengals. Last season, he stayed very, very healthy. 16 games, 292 attempts, 1,205 yards, and 13 touchdowns to go along with 42 receptions, 314 yards, and 3 touchdowns through the air. The biggest reason why I'm talking about, they added offensive linemen. The biggest need for the Bengals, they have one of the worst offensive linemen. Now, you added Lyle Collins. You added Alex Kappa. You Alex Ted Karras. I'm telling you, you got that center guard tackle combo. Now the holes are going to be so much more open. You actually got a line that you can trust in. Should be seeing more positive game scripts because Cincinnati is actually a good team now. They're going to be winning a lot of their games, and they're going to have to run the ball. Look for Joe Mixon to be a solid running back #1 throughout the entire 22 season. All right, now the last player we're going to talk about in the early 2022 free agent winners, we're talking about Gerald Everett, the tight end for the Los Angeles Chargers. Last season, he played for Seattle, 15 games, 48 receptions, 478 yards, and 4 touchdowns. This guy is only getting better as he learns his skills. He moves over to the Chargers now, who had Jared Cook last year, who had a good season last year. Herbert does like to target the tight end. Jared Cook is now gone. The only competition he has is Darnell Parham, and Darnell Parham is mostly in there for the blocking opportunities, so he should be able to see all of the passing down work for the Chargers. He's a good red zone threat. He's a big body tight end. He's got some hands to get up there and catch it, and he does have a chance to be a tight end 1 for your fantasy team. As of right now, early on, I'm going to say he's going to be a good tight end 2, but like I said, he does have that chance to be a tight end 1 in 2022. Thanks for watching my early 2022 free agent winners. If you guys find my information helpful, please hit that subscribe button. We're going to be covering a lot of things throughout the offseason, leading you up into the draft and into the season. Until then, we'll see you next time.